I just want to run through one of the methods that we've been through in the guide, just to show you basically how it works. And I've chosen the all-weather non-handicap UK only because it's pretty easy to follow, so it's easy to make a short video of. And I've gone back to the 29th of April. Very often you only have one selection a day. There were a few more that day, so it gives me more to show you. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up the course and code ratings for that day, 29th of April, and let's start at the beginning and make a short list of qualifiers. Remember, we're looking for non-handicaps, so the first race at Wolverhampton's ignored. Come to the next one again, it's a handicap, so we ignore that. Right, the first one is the 250, and Dark Lane is our top-rated horse, so that goes down on our list. Moving along, the next race we come to is the 350, and we've got three equally top-rated horses there, so all three of those go down: Classic Glory, Honey of a Kitten, and Hurricane Spirit. Going down again, we've got Cavalieri and Off the Pulse in the 420. The 450 isn't. So the next race we come to is the 525 at Lingfield. Carina Palace, top-rated and non-handicap. The 555, we've got Little Choosy and Ricaba. And we've got four joint top-rated in the 625. That's Clear Pearl, Mohami, Mama Lee, and Point of Control. There's a handicap, Right, we should have a short list now, which isn't too short, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 horses on the list that you should have written down. Now let's move on to sheet 3, and let's look at those races in particular and find out if they're fillies or not. So if we start off Lingfield, that's the first alphabetically. Our first race at Lingfield that we had any selections was the 525, where we had Carina Palace, sorry. That's a filly. The F designates filly, so that's not a selection. If we move down to the 555, and we had Little Choosy and Ricaba. Again, they're both fillies, so they're not selections. Move down to the 625, where our next selections at Lingfield were. And they're all fillies with the exception of Fleur de Fortune, which is a mare. So again, we have no selections at Lingfield at all left from our initial list. Let's move down to Wolverhampton. Our first selection was Dark Lane in the 250. That's a gelding, so that's fine. That goes down as a selection. Next race is the 350, where we had three horses, which were Classic Glory, Honey of a Kitten, and Hurricane Spirit. Again, they're all geldings, so no problems there. Move down to the 420, where we had Cavaliera and Off the Pulse. Again, we've got a colt and a gelding, so they're selections. So our initial list has now been reduced to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horses. And now I just quickly want to move on to sheet 1. Now the first race we're interested in is the 250. And we have Dark Lane, which is pretty much top rated across the board, although this rating doesn't work particularly well with others. But it's nice to see that it's there or thereabouts, so that goes down as a selection. Moving on to the 350, where we have Classic Glory, Honey of a Kitten, and Hurricane Spirit that are all selections. There's only one horse that we haven't got full details for, and that's Ghost Opera, so it's not too much to worry about. They're top 3 in the ratings. And our final race is the 420, where we have Cavalieri and also Off the Pulse. Now, looking at this race, is 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly half the horses haven't run, so personally I would totally ignore that race altogether, although it isn't catered for in the results. So my list from today's racing would involve 2 races, which is the 250 with Dark Lane and the 350 with Classic Glory, Honey of a Kitten, and Hurricane Spirit. I'm just going to pause this and I'm going to check the results. And then Okay, I've had a quick look at the results. Dark Lane didn't win, but Honey of a Kitten was a winner at 9.4 BSP, which gave that horse a particular profit of 7.98 points after taking commission off, which means that would give us a profit on the day of 4.98 points. Interestingly, in the race that I didn't that I scotched because there weren't many runners that had ratings for. Off the Pulse won at 14-1. I mean, it sometimes happens, but I would prefer not to get involved in those races personally. So that's just a simple way of how they work and how you can narrow things down. So even though it may look like you've got a lot of selections at the start, you really haven't in reality once you've been through the sheets and narrowed things down by getting out of those races that you're not really interested in and concentrating on the ones where you think you're going to make a decent profit. And that's it for now. Thanks.